So I've been testing a few adapters that take a USB-C connection and convert it into a headphone jack for phones that don't have it. The adapters I've tried so far aren't cutting it. So I've ended up buying an Anker adapter for about £14, which I think is on the high side, but let's see how it gets on. Let's look in the box and see what you get. It's not a lot. So there's just a warranty card and a thank you card in there, and that's it. And then the adapter itself here. So it's a little braided cable, seems quite well built. No product quality issues there. USB-C connector on the end there, bit of branding, and the 3.5mm adapter on the end. So to use it, you just plug it into the bottom of the phone in the USB-C port. Once that's connected, just bob in a pair of headphones or a microphone into the end there and you're good to go. Now I tested this with some earbuds and checked out how music sounded. I couldn't tell the difference between the standard 3.5mm headphone jack that's built into the S9 and this adapter. There was very little difference in a voice-only podcast, and that sounded quite rich. Voices were coming through well. There was very little background hiss on the adapter. There's none at all on the internal headphone adapter, but there is a tiny bit on the Anker adapter. However, it's nowhere near as bad as it has been on other adapters that I've tried. It doesn't get in the way of listening to a voice podcast. For music, that hiss, not noticeable at all. And the bass was coming through clear and it sounded good. I couldn't tell the difference between the adapter and the headphone sockets. That's pretty good in my books. So the focus I have in these videos is getting a clear signal out of the microphone input. So what we'll do is check this out with the internal mic socket first. We'll connect this Boya lav mic to it from the camera that I've got here. We'll connect that into the phone and see how that sounds, and then we'll switch to the adapter and see how that sounds as well. This is a microphone test using a Samsung Galaxy S9 and the internal headphone socket. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing microphone input using the Anker adapter. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think what you'll have heard in the recordings is there's very little difference between the internal mic socket and this adapter, which is great news because the other adapters were pretty poor at microphone input. There was a lot of electrical noise on one of them, and then the frequency range on the other was really bad. But on this test, the Anker adapter came out really well. It maybe records on a little bit on the quiet side, so I'm adding an 8 decibel gain in post-production. But if we take the files from this and open them in Audacity, and then we look at the spectrograms for them, you'll see at the top we've got the internal 3.5mm jack and how clear that is. And then at the bottom there, we've got the Anker adapter. There is a little bit of hiss down at the bottom there, you can see. But in general, it's a clear signal. It was a good recording with a good frequency range, and I'm actually quite happy with that. Out of all the adapters I tested, this has been the best, so I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it. Certainly give it a go with the equipment that you've got, and I guess if it performs badly for you, then you can always send it back. Check out my other videos if you're interested in the other adapters I've tried out, but like I say, this has been the best one so far, even at £14, which is a little bit on the high side. You can't argue with the performance of this one in comparison to the others. Anyway, I hope this video has been useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions for other adapters. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.